By the time I found out I had post-traumatic stress disorder, I had lost 2 wives, I estranged 4 daughters, and I alienated my 2 siblings. Then I realized I had destroyed all committed relationships. Unknowingly, I was living with the symptoms of PTSD. I ran my IT firm into bankruptcy after 25 years of successful operation. That's when I knew something was wrong. I decided to get help and I started seeking an education in photography to make a fresh start and build a new life. Along the way, I realized I was not alone and that there are many veterans who struggle like me and they were able to transform their lives by using photography to help them cope with their symptoms and retake control of their lives.
For the last few years that I served on active duty, I knew that I had sleep issues. I wasn't sleeping well. I was sleeping on average about 3 to 4 hours a night. I would wake up in cold sweats. I would have nightmares. My wife would say I would toss and turn violently. And it's something that as a pilot you don't really talk about because we learn fairly quickly. If you have anything wrong with you as a pilot, then you don't fly. And so we learn very quickly as a pilot that if you don't talk about what's wrong with you, then there's nothing wrong with you. But it got to a point where it was affecting me, and I actually had my last ground job that I had was a training officer, and so I was overseeing. I was the base training officer, so I was overseeing the college programs. And one of the civilian ladies that worked with me came to me one day and said, "Sir, we've gotten to know each other for a while, and I wonder, do you think that you might have PTSD?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, I teach this class on PTSD, and I think you might want to look at this pamphlet." And I dismissed it. And I never really thought about it until I was actually retiring, and they schedule you for all these VA appointments and physical exams, and they scheduled me for this one because I listed sleep issues, and the doctor said he was evaluating me for PTSD, and I said, no, that's not me. And as we got to talking, he asked me specific questions. And he asked me if I had ever seen any dead bodies, if I had ever encountered anything, if I had ever been part of any rescue operations in that aspect. And it brought up some memories of things. I don't know if you remember the bonfire at Texas A&M when it collapsed.
For a long time, that's how I lived. I just thought it was supposed to be this way. I thought this was what maturing and growing older brought to you, the elements of PTSD. I didn't know it was PTSD at the time until I got help, you know, that I fought against because I thought ain't nothing wrong with me until I got educated otherwise, that it was a lot of things that wasn't normal. And a lot of parts of myself that I lost due to fear of crowds, fear of strangers, um, fear of the unknown. Always wanting to be in control. Always wanting to know the next move. Always wanting to plan. Have a plan. Have a plan for that plan. When I say I have PTSD or I'm a wartime veteran, they were like, "Man, you must have got really jacked up over there." And
What was it like when you found out? I mean, when you became aware you were dealing with of PTSD, can you tell me a little bit about that?
it was eye-opening. Well, first I had to relive those experiences that kept me in a protective mode. Self-preservation, that's what I like to call it. Felt a little bit of relief that I could get some help. You know, it's nothing like being told this what's wrong with you, deal with it. So I think it was some kind of relief. I think I really got my biggest relief is when I actually got to engage with some of the counselors. One counselor in particular at one of the VA centers out in Mesquite. You know, I can't really describe the emotion. I can only maybe describe the horror of reliving that self-pity, you know, in some of the moments that I went through. I didn't really get no relief until I actually got some help.
My experience during my journey through the education process highlighted the negative symptoms I was living with in different ways. I found some of them to be positive.
When you're dealing with negative symptoms, what happens when you get a camera in your hand? Tell me how photography affects you.
So really, it's something that I can do that is familiar somehow to me, but it creates that calming effect to where I'm not thinking about anything else. I can fully devote my concentration and so it's relaxing in the sense that I can put everything else out of my mind and just focus on what I'm doing, but also about the control you have over what you get in the frame, because it's just this frame. It's not the entire world that you have to deal with. And so you get to focus on just this frame and how do I make this, even if you're in like a location like this, it's not beautiful, but if you manipulate the light in the frame, it can turn into something beautiful with your subject.
Sounds like therapeutic control. You know,
That's exactly what it is.
okay, so being able to take that small frame and be creative. You create
Yes.
your own world inside of that frame.
Yes.
Once you get finished with that creation, tell me the additional pleasure that comes when you get to look at the finished product and analyze that product. Talk with me a little about how that makes you feel.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, and it's literally, it's not just figuratively turning off the rest of the world. You are literally turning off the rest of the world, and only, you know, you only have to concentrate on what's in that frame, and you're laser focused on it. And it's something that it's hard to do for some reason. It's harder for me. I used to be able to do it all the time, but it's harder given what I've been diagnosed with. You know, and so it's great that you can do that with the camera in your hands and with the subject in front of you. And then when you get it on that screen and you're looking through, you're looking at the image, oh, that's nice, and then you see that one, and it's like, that's the shot. That's the reason I do this, and it's that feeling that I created that.
Can you feel honest in saying that photography is a type of therapy for you?
Most definitely, yeah, most definitely. Without even knowing it, it was therapy. And then as I started to become aware of the therapeutic uh, pleasures of photography, benefits of photography, then I started to engage in it a little bit more. You know, so most definitely, the photography is very therapeutic if you can allow yourself to not label things and just take it in.
You know, you mentioned to me about being a loner. How does photography help you with camaraderie?
allows me to have a bond with veterans who who love photography, and we can sit back, we can hold conversations, we can critique, we can go beyond photography. It starts out with photography, then it ends with life, you know. And so it helps me to gain common interest with somebody, you know, in relation to conversation. Pretty much just to let the world fall off my shoulders. You know, this is my step back. This is my pause. This is my break from everything that's going on around me. I'm trying to figure things out. That's how photography adds to the healing process. It allows me to stop trying to figure everything out. Give yourself a break. Pick up a camera, take a walk. You see something, snap, keep walking, just take it all in. Enjoy it. And look forward to the seasons. It's 4 seasons. You got a camera, you're gonna realize when every one of them hit. And it's a beautiful experience. Get an opportunity to appreciate the rain, appreciate the sun, appreciate the snow, appreciate growth, appreciate death with a camera. You get to do all those things and not wish the days away, you know? So that's what I would have to say about that.
You come out of the military, you're diagnosed with PTSD. You know, this art as a therapy initiative that I founded.
Yes.
I'm seeking to codify PTSD as photographically touching the soul deeper.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Working those things that you have to work, your mind, your creativity, the control of the camera, all of the things you got to learn with the different cameras, the lights, and the environment. Once you get through with all of that, and you explained it, very pleasurable things, now you get a chance to shake off, you know, other tensions and things that would have otherwise been bothering you. When you go and react with friends and neighbors, family members, are you noticeably a more pleasant person?
I hope so. It's my wife's back there. I hope so. I want to be. And you know as well as I do, dealing with and living with this, it's there's no cure to, like, there's no magic pill that makes it all go away. And so you do what you have to do to try to make it better. And I do 100% believe that photography does make it better. It makes it better for me. It makes me feel better.
Our mission is to raise awareness and empower the community to help us improve the quality of life of our veterans and their families who live with PTSD. Our veterans fought for our freedom. Now we will help them fight for theirs by guiding them through the process of discovering their artistic expression with photographic disciplines, thereby turning negative energy into positive results. Our vision for PTSD is to develop an interdependent organization by veterans for veterans that uses art as a therapeutic method to develop alternative coping skills, restore relationships, and cultivate support groups. PTSD, the mission transforms chaos into creativity.
You know, and I think I told you, you reminded me of, what's the star's name, Top Gun?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, right? Because I called him
Val Kilmer?
Well, no, but I literally called him an officer and a gentleman. I was like, you know what?
Okay.
I was like, dude, and I wanted to salute.
Yeah.
Because you touched my heart deep inside.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be your friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude,
and I thought, whatever I can do to be your friend, man, just let me befriend you.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got where we are today.
Yeah, man.
That's why, you know, my initiative, Photographically Touching the Soul Deeper, my goal is to redefine PTSD, because what it did for me and you,
right,
and how we've continued to grow and become deeper and closer, all because of photography. And again,
Man, I appreciate that. So it's